Hi, everybody. Sarah's trying to tweet out our broadcast.
I don't even think I got it done in time.
Did you retweet it?
No. But
Okay,
keep going.
Just tell everybody looking forward to having Wee's World and Mikkelson 12 join us to help set up tonight's Calgary Winnipeg.
Yeah, which
matchup.
is what I'll know. Look at us in our matching sweaters, huh?
It's 90s.
It's 90s night here at Canada Life Center. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Sara Lesky. He's Jamie Thomas. Thanks so much for joining us for game 8 of 82.
I do admire how you keep track of that.
Well, it's early on in the season. I definitely won't. We've discussed our love for math in previous ones. Second game in as many days. And if you feel as if, didn't we just have them here? Well, obviously yesterday, but then we're setting up a Flames and Jets matchup today. And wouldn't you know, we did that earlier this week.
Right on Monday.
When these two teams played at the Saddle Dome. But we are in a stretch of 3 games and 4 nights for the Winnipeg Jets. As we mentioned, it is 90s night here. So for all of you that are in the chat right now, I have a 90s question for you. Let's talk a little bit about the 90s.
You're going to talk about the 90s. So I went out and tried to find some 90s looking clothes yesterday. I was unsuccessful. But fortunately,
which is surprising.
We have these. I thought for sure.
I thought for sure you'd be able to, but
it just didn't work out.
Nah, that's too bad.
I only looked in one store though.
Okay, so the effort level was not really high on it.
10%.
There you go. That's but okay, so let's hear from all of you guys. When you think of the 90s, and let's keep it maybe to sports. But what are some of the things that you think of? What do you associate with the 90s? I think for a lot of us that lived in the city, would think of
Sega Genesis, NHL 94.
Oh, okay. That was not 95. Where I was going, but yeah.
It's just great times.
Early 90s, I think about Jets 1.0, variety of things. To be honest, when I think of the 90s in sports, I really think of Michael Jordan. And I think of the NBA on NBC.
Yes,
is really what just immediately, I know, which I'm pumped about.
Oh, I could listen to Round Ball Rock. Is that what the song's called?
I don't know what it's called. But
yeah, it is.
Okay.
Just seeing if you remembered.
For it. But I do. But let's hear from you guys. What do you think of when it comes to the 90s and when it comes to sports? And we're wearing some more retro inspired sweatshirts.
You wore my 80s clothes in the 90s. Perfect.
We are not just dressing like, which I think of kind of as, I don't know, the 90s too, but these are Mondetta. Love the sweatshirts, but I think of Mondetta in the 90s as well, especially having grown up here.
CDs also. Wasn't that around the time that Jock Jams came out in the 90s?
Oh, I love Jock Jams.
2 Unlimited.
Oh, it's so good. Yeah. So let us know. It's great to see so many of you in the chat.
Where can we get those jerseys? Good question.
Sweatshirts, the Jet Skier store.
Yeah.
You can go online or you can go to the store. And they are some of my absolute favorites for it. So Ken Wiebe is going to join us momentarily, which we are looking forward to. Perfect to talk about the Jets as well as the 90s.
Yeah.
But then, of course, what else is going on today? It's kind of a big deal in
World
Canadian sports.
World Series going on. Game 1 in Toronto, 7 p.m. Central. You'll be busy watching the game.
Yeah, but Ken is he's a huge baseball fan, a big Jays fan. So was there for games 6 and 7 last round. You, of course, are a Dodgers fan, as we have previously discussed. So
I'll continue to mention for the next 2 weeks.
Looking forward to being able to talk about it with Ken momentarily. And then Meaghan Mikkelson is going to join us.
Okay, Meaghan Mikkelson, obviously well decorated.
Yes, 3-time Olympian.
Yeah.
1 million world championships.
Yeah. So she agrees to come on the show and then just drops no way.
Okay. Keep going.
Okay. She sends a couple of photos this morning and she's like, do you have time to put these in? So when we do show them while Meaghan's on, you're going to go, Meaghan, of course I'm going to have time for these photos. So just hang on for that part of the show. Meaghan Mikkelson will be joining us at 12:50. But in the meantime.
Yeah, well, just before we get to Kenny, just in a quick second, optional skate this morning. So I was actually a little bit surprised that it was even up there as an option.
Okay.
Because typically on back-to-back games, you don't often see morning skate happen or many take to the ice, but all the players were down here for a meeting anyways. Some of them took to the ice. A lot of the scratches were out there as well, but coming off of 3-0 loss to Seattle last night, very quickly, your thoughts on the game?
Okay. First 2 periods, again, not much there, but the Jets did have lots of opportunities in the first period. I think of Josh Morrissey's shot off the crossbar to open things up, or the last part of the first period, and then much better in the third period because Kyle Connor pointed out the fact that they were more direct in the third, instead of trying to be too cute in the second period. That got them in trouble. Seattle defends very well. They're very well coached. They a very big defenseman. They block keep the front of the net clear for their goaltender. Joey Decord was very good. So I didn't have any issues with what the Jets did last night per se. Just maybe a little more around the net for looking for rebounds because those second chances weren't really there for them last night.
Okay, quickly, we will bring on Ken in a moment, but let's hear a couple comments from last night's game.
Second period, we got a little, discombobulated, not on the same page a lot of times. Great push in the third, to cat sometimes to the other team and the way they play D and their goalie. And, not for a lack of chances. Obviously we push them like that and controlling a lot of the zone time like that. We're going to score more times than that. So hopefully we can, be a mature group here and take what we can from that game and, not get too down on ourselves for not getting one there.
I liked a lot of what happened in the first. I liked a lot of what happened in the third. Second was loose. We didn't get any zone time. We got cute, kind of trying to stick handle our way through the neutral zone. And really in the first we got it deep and got it back. In the third period we did the same thing. And you know what? They're good. They're a good defensive team. The goaltender stood tall. They kept us to the outside. Their five guys were packing it in pretty tight, and it was going to take a greasy one. It was going to take a deflection or a rebound, and like I said, their goaltender was real good, and they played a pretty stingy game.
So that more direct approach did allow you, like the third period, allowed you a little more quality chances.
You're not going to tic-tac-toe your way around a team like that is taking away the middle of the ice. And like I said, in the second period, I thought that's what we were trying to do, too cute. But I liked our first. I thought our first, we broke out of our zone real well against a good forechecking team. We got out of there. We had zone time. Maybe not as much traffic as you'd like. In third period, I thought it was better. And there's some real good looks. I mean, there was some chances that thought their puck was going in the net, and they found a way to stay out.
You've talked a little bit about discipline. What did you like in that area tonight?
Well, it was a lot better, obviously. We didn't put ourselves in a foot. We were able to be, rolling our lines, playing getting five-man units out there. So, if you stay with the box, it certainly helps.
All right, so some comments from Kyle Connor as well as Scott Arniel. Obviously, not the results. Only one time last year where the Jets shut out in the 82 regular season games in Florida. Yeah. So it's been a while since we've seen it on home ice, but they did bounce back after that shutout in Florida. So look to be able to do the same tonight.
All right. A man full of despair heading into the World Series. But before we get to that, is Ken Wiebe, Winnipeg Free Press. I just love how positive you are before a loss. Like, it's just like, it's been so long for the Jays, like the 90s. We're talking about the 90s. That's the last time they were there. Like, it's just, so before we get into it, your thoughts about what happened on the ice in this building that we're standing in right now against the Seattle Kraken.
Well, Kyle, I can't say it better than Kyle Connor. Anytime you guys both know Bill Waters, that's a Bill Waters special, 6-syllable special. Anytime you can work discombobulated into the post-game address, it's a win for Kyle Connor. So, and he's right. I mean, the Jets were a little bit too cute, in Scott Arniel's words, and they had plenty of chances. Scott Arniel mentioned, highest zone time of the year, but they didn't do a good enough job getting to the hard areas is what I saw in that game. And, no better example, Gabe Vilardi got to the hard areas on that. You talked about the Josh Morrissey redirection off the crossbar. Gabe Vilardi has been a little bit snake bitten in the early going. He was there, but he ran into a 6'7", 250-pound man who lifted his stick. So, when you're having trouble getting the puck in the back of the net and you think you've got a tap in, it's, that's just sort of the way that the start has been for Gabe this year, getting lots of chances, but feels like if he gets one, he might get a bunch. But Jets were not direct enough, as Kyle mentioned, but I also think that they need to do a better job of getting to the blue paint, just because the box outs outworked the ability to get to the blue paint yesterday is what I saw.
Yeah, and that's something that I think Seattle under Lane Lambert in the very early goings has really emphasized as well, something that they've done a good job of. What do you expect this game to look like tonight? Ken, do you expect it to look very similar to what we saw on Monday?
I would say it's a combination of the two. I think that obviously the Flames saw what Seattle did to have success against the Jets, and they also had plenty of success against them at 5-on-5 the other day as well. But the big line of Mark Scheifele, Kyle Connor connection on that game winner, that's one that I don't think would have looked quite as good in the Flames video room. Nazem Kadri's a guy who I've got a lot of respect for, but that back check was not his best, and that's something that would not have sat well with either Kadri himself or with Ryan Huska. I mean, he's one of the biggest leaders on that team, and his effort just wasn't good enough on that back check. Mark Scheifele beating him to the net. Kyle Connor obviously made a great play, but Kadri was in the lead position. He was not in a chase position, and he lost his man, and that's a goal that can't happen. So I think it'll be a similar style. I think the Jets will be hungry. Obviously, first back-to-back of the year is always, a little bit of a challenge at times in terms of getting the legs up, but I think the Jets will be fresh. Obviously, Josh Morrissey played the 28 minutes, but I would think that their group is going to be pretty hungry. What we hear about championship teams or teams with championship aspirations is that you don't want to lose 2 games in a row. We know the Flames have been struggling, but their effort level is high. They just haven't been able to score. So for me, I think the Jets will be hungry. I think Eric Comrie was very sharp in his first start against the New York Islanders, and I think he'll be sharp again this evening.
Ken, looking at so far what we've seen from this hockey team and over like going back to even last season, just like this knowledge that they know what they've done wrong, and there's not that like lost look on their face after a loss lately. It's just like they know what they did wrong and they know they can fix it. That's like how championship teams are made of, right?
Yeah, I mean, their ability to self-assess, I think, is a big issue. I mean, or a big benefit for them. I mean, it's something that sometimes it's hard to be critical, but I think if you're a team that wants to get better and win, I mean, we know they had a good start, and people can say whatever they want. They're playing a bunch of teams that didn't make the playoffs last year. Well, that's true. But Seattle looks like a team that is a lot better than they were last year. And, at the start of the year, there's some teams that are, a little bit of fool's gold, but Seattle looks like they're a team that's got a little better structure. So for me, I think that the Jets' ability to turn the page, we heard Scott Arniel say it all of last year, the whole way to 8-0 and 15-1. They don't spend, they do their assessment of the night before and then turn the page and get ready for the next opponent. And that's what you have to do if you want to be one of the challengers or the biggest contenders in the Western Conference.
I wanted to ask you about Dustin Wolf's comments the other day. We were just discussing it off the air about it. Generated a few headlines about whether he could be perceived as having criticized his team. There's a lot of talk about the Flames' struggles generating offense. We know that. And he made the comment when he was asked after the game about how things look from his perspective. And he said that, essentially, and I'm paraphrasing, that he can't generate offense. He just worries about taking care about what he can in the net. But some, I think, when you look at it in print, maybe felt that it was a criticism of the group. Do you feel, having heard the full clip, that that's fair?
I don't think it's fair at all. And
I don't either.
This is twofold for me.
You can, like Anthony Stoller's got criticized or his comments in Toronto were much more pointed in mine. This I felt was just more factual, and him just reacting to it and just saying, well, I can't generate offense. I'm the goalie, essentially.
Yeah, twofold, guys, and we know this from being on that other side of the microphone, is that we ask players to be honest, and if they give an answer that is perceived as, oh my God, he said something negative towards a teammate, well, teams that are again championship caliber, they want to challenge one another. When you have a high standard, it's about reaching the standard and exceeding the standard when you can. This had nothing to do with a pointed shot at a teammate. This is I'm going to stay in my lane. I've barely been in the NHL. Dustin Wolf is an important part of their team. He's been their best player through 8 games, but the facts are he cannot score very often. He may get an empty netter at some point in his career, but he wasn't absolving himself of blame, nor was he sending blame in another place. So this is wake up territory for me, guys. I mean, it's just something where you need the context, and when you listen to the context, it looks different than it does in print. And I think in our hot take society that we're living in, I think it's important to explore all of the context. And to me, it was pretty simple. Dustin Wolf was saying, "My job is to stop pucks. My job is not to score goals. I don't want you to ask me how to fix the power play.
Yeah.
I'm here to stop pucks in the crease here. That is my job. That's all I took from it. Anything else is sort of outside noise.
90s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when we think of the 90s, a variety of different
Gatorade.
things come to. Okay, Gatorade.
Yeah. Be
Oh,
like
I
Mike.
want to be like Mike.
Yeah.
Oh, one of my favorite commercials of
Yeah.
All about the shoes. All about the
time.
shoes.
Oh,
Yes.
there were so many good ones.
Wasn't it Jordan bank shot with Larry Bird on the McDonald's commercial?
Oh,
Yeah.
good on JT.
Yeah.
What a
Thanks.
time. Oh, the 90s. It was
Great
special.
time. What about you, buddy? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, 90s, what a time to be alive. You nailed a bunch of them. A couple of Jays World Series that you conveniently ignored, JT. But yeah, I mean, it was high school for, for some of us in this conversation. And yeah, it was a great time. Sarah, you mentioned the Bulls. It was, unbelievable time for them. Watching Jordan was a treat. Some maybe hairstyles we might have regretted at the time, but
You have something for us?
Well, I was trying to get it loaded in and I can't get it loaded in,
Okay.
unfortunately. But so I'm just going to have to,
You
people
just
are
take it to
just
the
going to
camera?
have to, well, you can try. Otherwise, people
Hold
are
on.
just going to have to trust
here,
me.
I've got it.
There
Here
you
we
go.
go. Here we go. Here we go.
Look at that.
This is actually for all the people who think that I've been bald forever. This is at the end of the 9th grade in 1990, full Jaromir Jagr Mulletville here as a
That
member of the
is
WC Miller Aces. So
stunning.
very
is some
funny
great
stuff.
flow.
Very funny stuff. And again, obviously, you guys are rocking the Mondetta. I think I probably, if I found a box at my at Ken Senior's house back in Altona, there's still probably a great Mondetta Canada sweater in there. It may not fit me anymore, but I
Yeah.
definitely still have it. So great
Shit.
stuff.
Chip and Pepper. The 90s. I also
Oh, the
worked at Randy
shoes.
River.
Speaking of the shoes,
Last year, I talked about this. I worked at Randy River. They brought those stupid shirts out with the heat stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
Oh,
my
yeah.
armpits were on fire all the time. I could never wear those shirts.
Hypercolor shirt.
The hypercolor shirts. So I
Yeah.
could never wear, because it always, it would like radiate down here all the way down. And then I'd have massive, like in the middle of my chest, I'd have a huge circle. So obviously I could not wear those shirts.
Yeah. Now I know
Also,
what
JT, the clip-on leather tie also.
Yeah.
guaranteed, Kenny, you wore that with that mullet. Huh?
That was,
Oh.
True,
that
it's
was
true.
the time too, like when roses would go through the bar and they'd come around to the girls.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I remember
Which
that.
never worked, by the way. I only tried 5 times. 5 times, $5 a pop, but it never worked for me. Okay, another reason why we brought you on here. World Series start tonight. Chris Johnson doesn't have a voice. I was listening to Elliot Friedman the other day. He's lost his voice. You are struggling because you were there for game 6
Thank you.
and 7. No, you sound good.
I think you sound
Yeah.
sound fine. But
Yeah. But
It's the best I've sounded in days.
oh, good one from eight Stickman. Any hair is good hair. Thoughts on the next couple of weeks?
Yeah,
Awesome.
JT, you're counting your chickens a little early here, but
Yeah.
I appreciate the fact that you're all in your Dodgers. That they're an all-star team. They've spent money wisely.
Sure.
It's going to be a very difficult challenge for the Jays, but beauty of baseball is that often or occasionally a team that
Yes.
looks sizzling hot takes a week off and all of a sudden their bats go silent. So it would be hard for the bats for the Dodgers to go silent, but the Jays have a scrappy bunch. I'm going to just put it that way. They're a team that Vladimir Guerrero. Again, in these parts where we reside, we've talked a lot about the importance of rising up in the playoffs. Vladdy's first 3 trips to the playoffs were not good, nor was his individual play good. But he basically erased most of those memories with an incredible playoff to date. Ernie Clement is rolling. Trey Savage, I've seen 2 of his 6 major league starts, and they've been both spectacular. George Springer has all of that experience. And JT, I know you're not a fan of Springer because of what happened one other time when the World Series was on. So
just a small bit of cheating, no big deal. No big deal.
well,
No big deal.
that wasn't George's fault, but it's going to be an awesome series.
It is, yeah.
I am happy. I'm got my fingers crossed. I do have tickets for Game 6. I hope there is one. I hope there is a Game 6. I know JT is going all in on his Dodgers and his sweep, but I
I'll
would
go
love.
5. 5.
You'll go 5? Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
Well, just because I want to see it, I'm going to go Jays in 6. I think it'll be very difficult to do, but since I'll be in attendance, they may as well win the World Series. I don't ask for much. I don't ask for much.
No. Next time we bring you on, we got to get your top 3 live sports stories. We don't have time today because the great Meaghan Mikkelson is about to join us, and she won some gold medals and stuff. So we have to like push you aside respectfully.
No problem. I am happy to be pushed aside by Meaghan. Great to be with you, and
Thanks,
have a great
Kenny.
rest of the show, guys. Enjoy the game tonight.
Hey, go Jays.
Stop it. You know,
And he's laughing because
Yeah,
he
'cause-
knows that it's
yeah.
never come out of my mouth because I'm not a big baseball fan.
Yeah,
but
all of a sudden-
I can get behind a World
all
Series.
of a sudden we love baseball.
That's
We
right.
love the Blue Jays. Okay.
Huge fan. Huge fan.
Lots of people love Kenny as well.
Yes,
Okay. So
understandably so.
earlier in the show, I just talked about, I had asked Meaghan Mikkelson to come on the show a couple days ago.
Yeah.
She says, yes, we go through with questions they're going to ask her. We're fine. All of a sudden this morning, I get a text message. Do you mind putting these photos in? So before we bring Meaghan on, please put photo number 1 up, Zach. Oh my God, who is this? It's Meaghan Mikkelson. And who is that young man on the side?
Here's the thing is that, and I mean this as respectfully as possible.
Yeah,
Jonathan looks like he has gotten older,
yes.
as we all have.
Yeah.
Meaghan does not look like she has aged
No.
one bit.
Meaghan looks exactly the same.
It's incredible.
Photo number 2.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, she's back. And Jonathan Taylor's older.
For
And
Meaghan,
to your point, Meaghan Mikkelson has not aged a bit. So we're going to find out what her magic elixir
right.
is as we bring her on the show. Forget the Flames and Jets. We're going to bring in an Olympian. Oh, hi, Meaghan.
Hi. Oh my gosh.
all of us women watching right now, Meaghan, would like to know if you could take us through your secrets.
Yes, please do.
Sleep.
Take care.
Sleep.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
I'm a big sleeper, and naps, pregame naps.
I
That's
like
the
that.
secret.
Do you still nap now?
Yes. Yeah.
She goes, so hurry up with this.
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
cutting into this, folks.
Okay, so tell us where those photos are. Obviously, that one was taken today, but go back to the first one we showed.
Yeah, so the first one is that's the closing ceremonies at the 2014 Olympics in Sochi. And when we were chatting this morning, Jonathan and I, we were kind of reminiscing about how, like, the women's team, you play your gold medal final game. It's about 4 days before the closing ceremonies. The men's gold medal game is literally right before the closing ceremonies. So all of the guys had just rushed from, finishing the game, winning, getting their medals and whatnot. But they rushed to make sure that they could make it on time for the closing ceremony. So that's where that photo is from. And it's, kind of on the event level where there's all the fans are in the stands and in the crowd and whatnot. And we just took a quick photo. I found a couple other ones that are kind of fun too.
Yeah.
Maybe not for TV, but it was fun to just like reminisce about it this morning. And then, the second photo was taken this morning, and it was funny because Jonathan was like, well, I look older, but you look exactly the same.
I'm just saying.
So it's funny that you guys said that too. You said the exact same thing. So thank you everyone for boosting my confidence on this Friday morning.
For you, just before we talk quickly about tonight's game, for you, what is it like being able to see Jonathan get back into the league with everything that he's gone through? And obviously, the history that you have with him going back and wearing the Canadian flag.
Yeah. And, we were chatting about that this morning and just, taking time away and then coming back. And, I was talking to him about, like, I took 2 years away from playing myself at one point when I stepped away to have my son. And it was almost 2 full years between when I, played. It was actually the gold medal game in Sochi to when I was back on the ice, and just how valuable that time away can actually be, not just for your body, but for your mind as well. And just how, your perspective really changes as a person and as a player as well. But I said to him also, he scored his first goal in 2.5 years on Monday in Calgary at the Saddle Dome. And you guys know there's the saying, like, there's no cheering in the press box. But and even though I'm calling the game for the Flames, just, having, been, I guess, a teammate of his, quote unquote, as a member of Team Canada. And just hearing his story and everything that he's gone through, I was cheering a little bit in the press box on Monday, because, I mean, you hear how much he's gone through. But then also, I think what really impresses me is how he's looking on the ice. Like, I know stepping away from the game for 2 years, and you come back and you start playing and you're like, okay, is my speed going to be there? What's my timing like? My reads? Like, can I still play at this level? And so to see him, playing as well as he is, and he told me this morning he feels like his game's coming along, and to be finding success again, it's really great to see. It's an amazing story, obviously, that I know you guys have followed closely and done a great job of telling. So I was quietly cheering for him.
Well, I think that as everybody, even though that we're all supposed to be impartial, that human element, I mean, whether you have a connection to an athlete or not, just the human element of seeing someone be able to persevere and try to fight back, and you can apply it to different contexts. I think for so many people in their lives, you love to be able to see someone be able to do that.
Meaghan, like, just to tell our viewers, like, how long did it take for you to feel normal again when you were away from the game for so long?
But I said to Jonathan this morning, like, I was surprised at how quickly things come back. And it's abrupt at first when you start, you get into, you can skate all you want and train all you want in the summer, but there's nothing like, the intensity of a game, or, going into the corner to battle, in all of those things. So it's very abrupt at first, and then it comes back very, very quickly. Like, I was surprised when I took time away and then came back at how quickly things come back.
Okay, we do want to ask you a quick Flames question, although we could have you on for the entire half hour just to talk about your career and stuff.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of talk, obviously, throughout the start of this season about the Flames struggles and struggles to get the win, struggles to be able to generate offense. What are you looking to see from this team tonight here in Winnipeg as they try to get something going?
I think a lot more of, what we've seen, I would say the past 2 games, they've been really good. I would also say, and, having, been with the team through the whole preseason, start of the regular season, like, their record does not tell the full story of the hockey that they've played. Like, they've had some really, really good stretches. So, the story, of course, has been that right now they can't find the back of the net. And, I think that their mindset and mentality is to continue to focus on shot volume. And I think that, on Wednesday, we saw that they had 75 shot attempts in that game, which is great. But the difference is they need to find ways to get to the middle of the ice and to the high danger areas. So that's definitely, offense is going to be something that they're definitely looking for in this game tonight. But from a 5-on-5 standpoint, they've played some really good hockey, including against the Winnipeg Jets on Monday. 5-on-5, they limited the Jets to 3 high danger scoring chances. And so I think what they take away from that game is do the same thing tonight, 5-on-5, that they did on Monday. Just stay out of the penalty box, because that's what ended up hurting them in that game. And there was a lot of penalties. So, I think for the Flames, they've showed a real resiliency, I would say, in the last week as well. And the comments that came out on Saturday from the Hockey Night in Canada broadcast, just sort of questioning their culture. There was a strong response from Mackenzie Weegar saying, we have our culture's not the problem. They weren't playing to their identity was the issue. So I think that, it's a team that, and they showed it last year also, it's a very resilient group. So I would expect that they're going to continue to push their game, to push the offense. And their goal, without a doubt, is to dig themselves out of this hole and win tonight.
Wow. So thank you so much for surprising us with those photos.
Yeah, sorry about that.
No,
I
was
was
awesome.
taking notes while you were talking, that way when I talk about the Flames on the broadcast tonight, have full context.
That's really cool that you got to have a moment with Jonathan today. That's
was
awesome. then thank you so much for sharing that story with us. That was a really fun part, and enjoy the broadcast tonight, and looking forward to having you on the show again real soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, guys.
Hey, enjoy your nap.
Yeah.
Oh, I will.
I'll see you back here
So
later.
should we phone your room before like about 12, like 1:30, 2 o'clock? That's fine.
I can unplug the phone now.
Thanks, Meaghan.
Bye,
Thanks,
Meaghan.
guys.
Meaghan Mikkelson joining us.
That was great. You know what? We had so many questions that we were going to ask her about with the Flames, because as she mentioned, I mean, she's been with them all the time. Part of their broadcast crew, does a great job.
Yeah.
Also, you know, for a variety of other networks as well. But when you have the opportunity to have the perspective that she has and with Taves, you certainly don't want to pass that up.
So sometimes I thought we were going to talk all Flames, but
Yeah.
then that just like went another direction.
Yeah,
It's
which
fantastic.
is great, which is a different perspective because we can. Yeah.
You had a guest today. I was
I
telling you to
did.
be quiet.
Okay, so this is sorry.
Yeah, I wasn't going like this. I would be rude.
Sarah.
I mean,
shush.
obviously in the office when nobody's watching.
You talk too much.
Yeah.
Okay, I did have a guest today in keeping with the 90s theme as well. I
This
went
is
with
great.
it
You did
a
a
little
job on
bit.
this.
You have no idea. You haven't watched it, but I had the chance to catch
So
up
good.
with Gus
It's your
Nyquist
best interview.
just a little while ago. Well, Gus, the second game of a back-to-back goes tonight. Optional skate this morning. Some guys take it, some guys don't. How do you best prepare for the second game in a situation like this?
Yeah, I mean, this happens all the time during the season, so it's kind of rare to have it home and home, which is a nice part. You get to sleep in your own bed. Short turnaround. Some guys like to get up and get on the ice, some don't. So today I stayed up.
For you, do you do anything after the first game differently than you would in a typical game when you're trying to prep? Whether that be extra food or different types of food or anything that varies your schedule?
No, I wouldn't say so, to be honest with you. I mean, we after every game, it's such a big recovery process anyway, so I don't want to say I switch anything up just because it's a back-to-back. Maybe you sleep in a little bit longer, maybe, but when it's not a back-to-back, you get up a little early, I'm saying, because you got to get up for meetings and stuff like that, but otherwise it's about the same.
What you obviously just saw Calgary in their arena earlier this week. What is it that you need to be aware of with this group?
No, it's a good team. Obviously, they've had a tougher start to the season, and you know, they're going to be ready to go, and we got to be ready for that. So they're a strict defensive team. You know, they don't give you much. You know, they're hard to score against. You got a really good goalie in there. So just don't give any free offense, and kind of it's going to be another tight checking game, I'm sure. So we got to be ready for that.
Okay, tonight inside the arena tonight, it is 90s night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, yes. Okay, so when you think of the 90s, what comes to mind? What do you think of? Whether it be pop culture, sports?
The 90s.
Yeah.
I mean, that was happy time in life. I was just a little kid. I was just
A young boy in Sweden.
Young boy in Sweden, playing as many sports as possible. I had not many worries in life back then. So, but I lived through the 90s. I guess some good music back then too.
Yeah. Okay, give me even something that you found in later years that you enjoyed from the 90s.
It's a good question. You're putting me on the spot.
Okay,
here.
fair enough. So let me ask you this. Okay, so let me ask you. I would do the same way. Let me ask you a quick question that relates to hockey in the 90s, but with pop culture. Did you ever see Mystery Alaska, the movie?
No.
No? Okay. Do you know The Cutting Edge? Toe pick? A hockey player? No? Okay. Mighty Ducks?
Yeah.
Hey! Have you seen that one before?
Cutting Edge? No, I haven't heard about the.
You gotta
Mighty
ask
Ducks. I've seen.
Okay, yeah. You gotta ask your wife about Cutting Edge.
I don't know. She'll know.
Oh, you just wait.
Okay.
We'll follow that.
All right.
Thanks for the time. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Toe pick. Do
Yeah,
you remember that one?
I do, 100%.
Oh.
There was some. You know what? There was some great '90s movies. Now that I think about it,
There were.
sports wise.
I know. We could do a whole 90s show. Maybe we'll have to do that on.
I totally
on
forgot
another
about the Dallas Cowboys in the '90s. Were the
day.
unbelievable story.
Yeah, whatever.
They were kind of
That's
cool.
fine.
Yeah.
Well, whatever.
Let's one more time. It is '90s show, and
Yeah.
Ken Wiebe was like bragging about his hair, so we cannot leave this show without a great shot of this. Oh my gosh!
Just one more time, huh?
Like,
Look at that salad. That is the smile, the same energy, the same
I'm just trying to remember. So if I was in, that's fantastic, especially the jacket too.
The whole thing's great.
Yeah.
I love it. So thanks very much to Ken Wiebe for showing that
Handsome devil.
to us. Should have brought some 90s photos of us. Would have had the teased up hair really high.
I'm just trying to.
Big shoulder pads they often had too.
We were talking about this the other day because my parents had the hockey mom and dad jackets that we just
buttons.
That they had the button with our face on them,
course.
which were absolutely humiliating. When your mom, so I think my mom was one of 2 moms that had it on her jacket. It was the worst.
Oh,
the worst. But
she loved you though.
Someone asked.
We do need to wrap. I know a number of you want to go over Winnipeg Sports Talk and continue on discussing.
Yeah, but does Winnipeg Sports Talk have these jerseys? No.
For it. It is 90s night here at Canada Life Center. If you're coming on down, feel free to wear something 90s inspired. Looking forward to it and looking forward to this game here tonight as the Jets look to get back to the win column. It is very rare to have a home or to have back-to-back games at home. And especially 3 games in 4 nights. So that is it for us now. Tonight's game is on TSN. And then on Sunday, we are back again, 12:30. Utah Mammoth are in town.
It's so totally forgot about the Mammoth part.
For it.
Yeah. But they'll have the.
He also forgot that it was Utah. So
sure did.
Anyways, thanks so much everyone for checking in. Sarah. Love being able.
Minute by minute.
Yeah, love so many of you in the chat and hope that you join us.
Don't forget, you're coming tonight. First 5,000 people get this beauty.
Hey, there you go. 90s. And today's feature of the game goes in line with our sweatshirts. Feature of the game, celebrate the 90s with these new retro logo caps from New Era. Choose from a variety of styles. New Era retro logo caps. Okay. Available at Jets Gear, available in the concourse as well if you're coming to the game. All right.
Enjoy the game, everybody.
Is it. Have a fantastic night. Enjoy the rest of your day. Go Blue Jays. Go Winnipeg Jets. We will see you on Sunday. Thanks for checking in.